Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! Beast! Peekaboo, I see you because I'm YouTube fringy now. The album, Dad, Shimmy Shimmy AF, the summer edition. Oh, Mickey, you're so fine, you blow my money, Mickey. Hey, 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 Mickey. Gucci, Gucci, Louis, Louis, Fendi, Fendi, Prada. Beast! How are you guys doing today? Well, listen, Linda, hold on. Let me pick up my broken fan off of the ground. I'm not ever throwing this away. In fact, I think I'm gonna make a turtleneck out of it. Don't you think this would make such a beautiful turtleneck? Anyway, how are you guys doing today? Okay, so here's the situation. My parents went away for a week's vacation and they left the keys to the brand new Porsche. All right, I am very, very tired today. I'm very tired. I stayed up way too late last night watching Fear the Walking Dead. I finished season 4, finally, and now I am on to season 5, okay? I feel so bad for these people. Let me just tell you, okay? When people want to say, Peter, you don't have any compassion or empathy for the world. Nobody actually ever says that. They don't. People are always like, Peter, you're so nice, you're so kind. I appreciate that. But just in case you ever think that maybe I don't have any compassion or kindness, here's some proof, okay? I do really feel bad for these people that are stuck in a zombie apocalypse, okay? Not only do they have these living dead things constantly coming for them and trying to, like, poke their eyes out and eat their guts and things like that, but at the same time, there's, like, horrible human beings that are trying to, like, take over the earth, you know? And what are they trying to do? They're just trying to leave a box by the side of the road that says, take what you need and leave what you don't, or whatever. You know? They're just trying to be good Christians, good citizens of the earth, you know what I mean? But they got dead people, they got living people all coming for them, you know? But anyway, I stayed up too late last night watching Fear of the Walking Dead, okay? Then I had to get up this morning and take care of my dog and get little Mr. Boo Radley all settled on, that kind of stuff, before I got an Uber, and I went and got my hair cut today. She was getting ready to, like, fix it up. I said, listen, I'm just going to throw on a hat. Anyway, I am way too tired for all that madness today. So then I came home, and I was like, you know what? I think I might lay down and take a little bit of a nap. And then I was like, you know what? I went downstairs and folded my laundry, and then Mr. Boo Radley, he was helping me. My little dog, Boo Radley, you know? And I was like, if I lay down with Mr. Boo Radley right down and take a nap, the rest of the afternoon is over. It's completely over, and there's no way. So if I'm going to film a video, we're going to get in this video and we're going to film it right now. So I have a little update for y'all. I also have a little coffee. Cheers. Listen, we're just hanging out on the front porch having a conversation. Like my neighbors, you know, they come over and they sit in that chair right there, and we talk about all the HOA gossip and drama that's going on. That's Homeowners Association. We talk about all the neighborhood drama and gossip that's going on in the neighborhood. Look at this. This has now become like something to play with. The fringe on the end of my fan. This is out of control. She needs a haircut. Shirley, you need a haircut. Okay, Cheryl, Shirley, you need a haircut. Did I just invent a new name? Anyway, so, you know, they come over here and they sit on the chair over there, and then they'll be like, now, did you hear about Judy Smith down the street? No, what about Judy Smith? Well, she wants to put in a cement patio, but they won't let her build it. They won't let her build, oh no, and let me tell you why. Now, there were 4 HOA members that voted on the board for it, but one of them wouldn't, and it had to be a unanimous vote. I'm like, oh no, seriously? And like big gossip. We talk about all the big gossip here in the HOA neighborhood, right? About the fact that we begged them to keep the pool open for an extra week or 2, you know, past Labor Day. No, they said absolutely not. We're not doing that. We're not keeping the pool. Not one day past Labor Day are we keeping that pool open. I was like, Well, I can't ever get anything that I want around this neighborhood. But anyway, that's why I'm thinking about running for the HOA president. True story, I am. The elections are up in September, and I'm thinking about running. Okay, Peter Monn, president of the HOA. It's going to be a wonderful thing. Listen, I talked in my video the other day about how absolute power corrupts absolutely. Listen, I'm going to have some power in this neighborhood, and I'm going to be running some things. And talking about absolute power corrupting absolutely, let's talk about Colleen Ballinger today. Now, I have talked a lot in a lot of my videos about people that have continued to support Colleen Ballinger and James Charles, okay? And that they haven't really taken a stance about it. I talked about how Manny and Laura came out in their podcast and they attempted to have a conversation about it, but they said that they really didn't know the background story. They didn't really do their research. Then they took down their video. I don't know if that's a retraction or not. You know, like somebody said out there like, oh no, taking a video down is not a retraction. So I don't know if that's a retraction or not. You be the deciding factor on that, okay? But needless to say, they took down that video. They never spoke of it, okay? They never apologized for what they said, where Manny MUA got in the video and said he felt sorry for Colleen Ballinger. I feel so sorry for Colleen Ballinger. What a tough life she's had. Millions of dollars and a mansion in California and gone on tour and had best-selling novels, you know? All off the backs of her fans, you know? I mean, what a horrible life Colleen Ballinger's had. I feel really bad for Colleen Ballinger, Manny MUA said. So anyway, so Manny MUA has continued to follow Colleen Ballinger, and he continues to follow James Charles. Laura Lee just went to James Charles' painted launch and things like that. Daniel Prada, their friend, he supported Colleen Ballinger until a while ago, and then he stopped following her on Instagram. His ex, Joey Graceffa, who has been very, very good friends with Colleen Ballinger for many, many years, followed Colleen Ballinger and, you know, hadn't really come out and made a stance and things like that. And Joey's actually been in some pretty problematic videos of Colleen Ballinger's where she's Miranda sings and things like that. And Manny has been in videos where he has said problematic things with Miranda sings, Colleen Ballinger's character, and on and on and on. You know, JoJo Siwa continued to follow Colleen Ballinger and James Charles, and, you know, and it just kind of makes you wonder. Shane Dawson still follows Colleen Ballinger. It just kind of makes you wonder, like, why these people don't take issue with it, you know? And so, for a long time, people were like, well, why do you feel like they need to come out and they need to say something? Well, I personally feel like if they, in any way, built their career, like, I'm not just saying, like, I'm just pulling somebody off the side of the road, okay? Like, I'm not asking Mr. Beast, who has never been friendly with Colleen Ballinger. I don't know. I don't think he has. Who's never been friendly with Colleen Ballinger, who's never done a video with Colleen Ballinger, who's never interacted with Colleen Ballinger. I'm not asking Mr. Beast to make a statement about it, okay? I'm asking people that have built their careers partly due to doing videos with Miranda Sings and Colleen Ballinger, where they got a huge following off of that. Manny, Joey, okay, things like that. Or that they've highly endorsed those people. JoJo Siwa has done that. And that these people, in their own right, I think, are people that are role models to a younger generation. Definitely JoJo Siwa is a role model to the younger generation, especially the younger LGBTQIA plus community, okay? And Manny has kind of said that he is a role model to the younger LGBTQIA plus community as well, right? Joey Graceffa, I think after he came out, was a role model to the LGBTQIA plus community, right? And yet these people continue to stand by and not speak out against predators, right? In Colleen Ballinger's case, alleged predators. In James Charles' case, self-proclaimed predators that were in DMs speaking with minors, whether he knew that or not, and found out one time and then did it again and then found out another time and still is doing it. He said himself in Cosmopolitan magazine that he's still interacting in DMs with people, asking them for their IDs and things like that. Very, very problematic. And yet many of these people continue to stand by that, right? So the other day I was sent several comments by people saying that Joey Graceffa had unfollowed Colleen Ballinger on Instagram, and I was like, oh, okay, like, this is interesting, right? Now, people have said to me in the last couple months, people that, and I want to make this very, very clear, okay? Because I don't think anybody in their right mind would take issue with me saying that I feel like these people should come out and stand on the right side of history and take a stance against predators, right? Like, I don't think that's like a hard issue for us to agree on, right? I mean, I think that most people that are speaking of empathy or sympathy or human beings out there, I don't think they would take much of an issue of saying, yeah, I think it might be like a nice thing for some of these people to come out and say, yeah, I don't agree with predatorial behavior and I can't continue to stand by and watch this going on, and no, I can no longer follow them, right? There's been other people that have come out and done that. So, you know, Tyler Oakley wasn't involved in all that, and he came out and said that. So I'm not really sure why that's a hard ask of these people that have built careers off of Colleen Ballinger and Miranda Sings. So I want to make this very, very clear to those people out there that defend them and say they don't have to come out and speak. What's obvious is that you're a super fan of these people, and that's completely fine. Be a super fan of these people, but that's why you make excuses for them, okay? It's the same reason why when I went to Jaclyn Hill's post yesterday where she was talking about this new highlighter that she came out with or whatever it is, okay, that all these people were in the comment sections because she's deleting comments like crazy over there, okay? She must have a whole team of people deleting comments over there. But there were all these comments and people were like, Jaclyn Hill is so nice. Jaclyn, you are the kindest, nicest person. Did you just watch my video where she tried to extort money from another fellow businesswoman? Okay, or the whole issue with Marlene Estelle, or how she handled the whole situation with Kaylin Nicholson and the Co's brand. How you can sit there and say that this woman is kind and nice? Like, are you completely oblivious to what's going on in the world? No, your absolute stand-up of these people is what is standing in the way of you seeing the truth, okay? And that's fine if you want to stand by these people, right? Stand by them all you want, right? But be very aware of what you're standing by. So, for a long time now, people have said to me, well, do you really feel like they need to come out and say something? Don't you think an unfollow is enough, okay? So, to be honest with you, my stance says, no, I don't think that's good enough. Personally, I think they need to come out and speak about it. First of all, Manny MUA and Laura Lee chose to speak about it in a podcast. They chose to bring it to their front porch, okay? So they chose to speak about it. So since they chose to speak about it, I think that they can continue to speak about why they took the podcast down, Manny's problematic history with Miranda Sings and Colleen Ballinger, and why he continued to support her for so long, okay? I think he can have that conversation. Manny, specifically, right? Joy Graceffa has been somebody that has been very, very good friends with Colleen Ballinger for a very long time, okay? I don't think that's a hard ask to say, do you continue to follow her, do you not continue to follow her? Daniel Prada, who said that she was one of his best friends in defending himself against Gabby Hanna, he had no problem, you know, saying girly girl to his audience and saying girly girl, she was never one of my best friends, she was only a professional acquaintance and things like that, but he used her, right? When he was trying to get out, or trying to defend himself against the whole Gabby Hanna situation, which I think that he should have defended himself against Gabby Hanna's situation. But in that situation, okay, Colleen Ballinger was one of his best friends. It's video checked. You can see it. That video is recommended to me left and right. I don't know why, okay? So anyway, and then he recently came out and he unfollowed Colleen Ballinger. He still follows James Charles. He just posted James Charles' birthday cake. That was a joke about Toddy Westbrook's allegations, which I just covered in a previous video, where she said, Angie did it at my birthday dinner. Daniel Prada threw that cake up that James Charles got at his birthday this year. He threw it up on Instagram thinking that that was funny, okay? Daniel Prada, who clickbaits almost every title of every one of his videos, answering all your most asked questions. We're going to talk about something real serious today. Basically using his so-called friendship with Colleen Ballinger to get people to watch his bore-ass videos because he thinks that people are going to come over there and watch it if he's going to address the Colleen Ballinger thing. He ain't never going to address the Colleen Ballinger thing. The only time Daniel Prada will ever address the Colleen Ballinger situation is in the comments of his videos where he has absolute control over it. And he's going to say, girly girl, she was never one of my close friends. Well, you said it. We didn't say it. Don't act like we're a bunch of fools. Don't be girly girling us. Okay? Don't be being patronizing and condescending to your own audience. You're the one that said she was one of your closest best friends. You said that. You said that, Daniel Prada. At least come out and say, I did say that, and she was one of my best friends at that time. She's not since, and I haven't spoken to her. You did come out and say you haven't spoken to her in 3 years, But no, you mocked your audience and said, girly girl, she was never one of my best friends. Well, why do you think we would say that or think that? We thought that because you said that, okay? So I went in because I wanted to fact check this because, listen, I have ridden these people hard because I thought that they need to come out and they need to speak against these people. I do, right? But for all the people out there that want to say, beast! All the people out there that want to say, look, don't you think an unfollow is enough? Okay, I will grant you, for you, that an unfollow is probably a move in the right direction, okay? It's a start. I think it's showing that they are trying to do something to save their careers, maybe? I don't know. I have to guess because I'm going to show you some proof in a second. So I went in here last night and I was actually kind of surprised by some of these things. So I went in here and I wanted to see who all the people are that follow Colleen Ballinger that I've talked about in my videos and things like that. And what I found was that Joey Graceffa no longer follows Colleen Ballinger on Instagram, okay? But Colleen Ballinger still does follow Joey Graceffa, okay? Then I went in and I looked at Daniel Prada, and Colleen Ballinger still follows Daniel Prada, but Daniel Prada does not follow Colleen Ballinger anymore, okay? Then I went in and I looked to see if Manny MUA still follows Colleen Ballinger because I just did this in a video recently and he was still following her as of recently. Manny MUA has unfollowed Colleen Ballinger. And I have to tell you, I was kind of blown away by this. I was like, oh, this is really interesting, okay? That Manny MUA no longer follows Colleen Ballinger. When did this happen? This must have just been recently because I know I just looked like last week and he was still following her, okay? But Colleen Ballinger still follows Manny MUA, okay? Then I looked in, and of course, James Charles follows Colleen Ballinger. And of course, Colleen Ballinger still follows James Charles. Why wouldn't they? Birds of a feather, right? James Charles, or Shane Dawson, he still follows Colleen Ballinger. So a lot of people are saying that Shane Dawson shouldn't come out and speak about this, and obviously he wouldn't because then it would bring a lot of attention on his cancellation and things like that. But Shane Dawson could still unfollow Colleen Ballinger, okay? He still could. That's a move that he could do, right? So then I go in here, and I was like, you know, this is real interesting to me. So Joey Graceffa finally unfollowed Colleen Ballinger. And I want to say, I think that this is a move in a good direction, okay? Like, I'm not going to applaud them for waiting 2 months to do the right thing. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. If you guys want me to congratulate these people on doing the right thing after 2 months, 2.5 months, 3 months, no, I'm not going to do that, okay? I think that they stuck around until they realized it was going to start really affecting their careers because a lot of people were calling them out, okay? A lot of people were calling Joey Graceffa out in the comments of his tweets. If you go over onto his Twitter, it's literally flooded with people asking him when he's going to talk about Colleen, okay? Daniel Prada unfollowed Colleen Ballinger when he was being flooded with people saying, well, isn't she your best friend? Why aren't you going to talk about her, blah, blah, blah. Then he unfollowed her, okay? Now people have been calling out Manny MUA left and right. Well, Manny finally unfollowed her. Now, JoJo Siwa, she obviously don't care, okay? She still follows Colleen Ballinger. She still follows the Rachel Ballinger. She still follows James Charles, okay? I don't know about JoJo Siwa. I mean, I watched every episode of Dance Moms back in the day. But that girl, I think she is standing in a fantastic position to be an amazing role model for the LGBTQIA+ community, except for one thing. Is that she protects predators because she is still friends with James Charles and she is still friends with Colleen Ballinger and Colleen Ballinger's sister, and I'm not really sure why she wouldn't see that that's problematic and distance herself from that, okay? And don't tell me JoJo Siwa doesn't have PR people and she doesn't have a team of people around her that would say, hey JoJo, maybe you need to rethink this, okay? Maybe you're sending out the wrong message to your younger audience that is coming out and is, you know, taking pride in your story of coming out, that maybe what James Charles did is probably not the right thing to be endorsing his painted products, okay? I'm just saying, right? Maybe to continue to stand behind Colleen Ballinger, who has massive allegations of having inappropriate conversations with minors when you are just coming out yourself and as a role model of the LGBTQIA+ community, maybe you shouldn't continue, maybe you should rethink your stance on this, you know? And I don't know, maybe what I'm starting to think is maybe we're building up these role models that shouldn't be role models. Just because they're famous, why are we making them into role models when there could be much better role models that are just regular people on the street, okay, than these people that obviously all they care about is money and power and whatever. And listen, and I don't have any bone to pick with JoJo Siwa except for the fact that she stands by these predators, okay? She seems like a very nice gal to me and all that kind of stuff. Now, JoJo Siwa, she does have her name on literally everything that you can buy up in Target and Walmart. So she obviously does care about the money, okay? So her doing videos with Shane Dawson and James Charles and Colleen Ballinger have exposed her to an entirely different audience of people that might be introduced to JoJo Siwa and be like, oh wow, I like this girl, I'm going to start following her. That might bring her some more money. So yes, those relationships have been financially beneficial to JoJo Siwa, period, okay? And those relationships have also been beneficial to the people. It's called cross-pollinating your audiences is what it's called, okay? So anyway, but when I went in here and I started looking in here and I thought, okay, this isn't, well, first of all, Patrick Starr, for as much leeway that we give Patrick Starr for not being problematic and staying out of problems and things like that, Patrick Starr still follows James Charles and he still follows Colleen Ballinger. Now, I know it was a mistake on his Facebook group the other day by that PR team, Jelly Smack or whatever they are that put it up there, but he just put a Colleen Ballinger ad. I mean, that is in such bad taste. They took it down. But they put a Colleen Ballinger ad as Miranda sings up on his Facebook page not too long ago. And he continues to support James Charles. He just went to the launch of James Charles' thing and all that kind of stuff. And he still follows James Charles and Colleen Ballinger. I'm starting to think maybe Patrick Starr is a little bit more problematic than we have given him credit to. I'm starting to think that maybe Patrick Starr, who is paying PR people to write articles about him to say that Beyonce is using his setting spray, the best setting spray in the entire world. He's paying people to write those articles to bring him attention about his setting spray. I'm starting to think, which are the same people that, the same PR group that is being used by James Charles to write the article for Cosmopolitan, the same PR group that Colleen Ballinger used to find the Andrew Quintana to write the article for Vanity Fair, which is the same people that all these PR people use to get out of trouble. I'm starting to think that maybe Patrick Starr is a little bit more problematic than we have given him credit through these years, and that maybe I think we need to start maybe taking a little bit of a closer look at Patrick Starr, okay? Maybe Patrick Starr has gotten off a little bit too easy. And maybe we need to start thinking about why Patrick Starr supports these people so undyingly, because he still does support them. But when I went in here and I looked, what was interesting to me was, and I already knew this, Manny MUA still supports, or still follows James Charles, okay? And, I mean, he just talked about his paints, did a review on TikTok, so the greatest paints in the entire world and all that kind of stuff. He made 2 TikToks about it, because people were questioning the patchiness. So he came out in another video, even though Manny never comes out in 2 videos and never addresses anything, didn't address why he took down the podcast, didn't address following these people for all this time, right? Never does that, but felt the need to come out in a second TikTok and address the patchiness of James Charles' makeup. Are you kidding me? Manny never does this, okay? So, of course, he still supports James Charles. Joey Graceffa still follows James Charles. And Daniel Prada still follows James Charles. Laura Lee still follows James Charles. So I'm sitting here and I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, you know, this is real interesting to me, right? So Manny and Joey and Daniel have all unfollowed Colleen Ballinger, an alleged predator. And so people are going to see this and they're going to say, oh, well, finally, Manny, Daniel, and Joey did the right thing, okay? Because they finally unfollowed her because of all these allegations. They must really care about the victims, because this is the problem, right? This is the other problem when you guys want to say that they don't need to come out and talk. Well, when they don't want to come out and talk, we can assume whatever we want to assume about them, okay? We can assume whatever their thoughts are. We can say whatever their thoughts are. We can come up with our own ideas in our own head, okay? Because they're not coming out and saying factually otherwise. If they wanted to come out and address it in a video or an Instagram story or a statement, then that would be the factual evidence that we would go with. But since they're too weak to do that, then we have to go with what they're giving us. And what they're giving us is an unfollow of Colleen Ballinger, but not of James Charles, right? So what's interesting to me is that Joey Graceffa, Daniel Prada, and Manny MUA, when it gets too hot in the kitchen, they unfollow Colleen Ballinger. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, oh, congratulations, like, that was a really good move. Like, see, I knew, this is why I continued to follow you guys, because I knew that eventually you would see the right way, right? This is when I stopped following Manny, because I knew that Manny was just in it for the money, and he doesn't really care, and he will stand behind anything problematic until it starts affecting his almighty dollar, okay? Well, when people started coming for Joey's career and Daniel's career and Manny's career over the fact that they were supporting Colleen Ballinger, and not just one or two drama channels, but many, many people in their threads on Instagram and Twitter, and talking about them following Colleen Ballinger and supporting her, was when they finally stopped following her, okay? But does that mean that they really care about the victims? Does that really mean that they care about the allegations, or they think that Colleen Ballinger is a bad person? Or are they just doing it for good press because they think it's the right thing to do and it will help their career come out? We won't know because they don't talk about it, right? And that's on them. That's on them that they don't come out and talk about it. But they all still follow James Charles. Daniel Prada, Joey Graceffa, Patrick Starr, JoJo Siwa, all of them, Manny MUA, they still follow James Charles, okay? So Daniel Prada, Joey Graceffa, and Manny MUA unfollow Colleen Ballinger, who is an alleged predator with factual evidence that her victims have come out and shown, okay? They unfollow her because they take such issue with that. But James Charles, who got in a video, okay, and self-proclaimed that he was a predator and that he was having sexual conversations with minors, and did it again and again, and is still doing it and having conversations with people in his DMs. He just talked about that in his Cosmopolitan article not so long ago, and hasn't come out in a video and explained how he's changed, what actions he's taken to change. None of those things, right? None of those people have a problem following him or endorsing his products and things like that, right? So it makes you wonder, is it really that they take issue with these situations, or do they really have an issue with predatorial behavior, or is it that they're just trying to save their careers and do what they think is the right thing in the face of the public eye? That's what I think it is. Because if they really took issue with this, if they really cared about this situation and the victims and these allegations, they would unfollow James Charles and have nothing to do with him too, okay? But when in fact, they have been the people that have continued to go to his parties, they have continued to go to his launches, they've continued to support his brands, okay? They've continued to shout him out in videos, they've continued to do things with him publicly and socially. So they obviously take no issue with James Charles, okay? So, I don't know. Will they unfollow him if something huge comes out about James Charles again? They didn't before. Why were they so willing to hold on so closely to James Charles, but they weren't willing to hold on to Colleen Ballinger? Was Colleen Ballinger not doing something that great for their career anymore, so they didn't care? Or did Colleen Ballinger tell them to unfollow her because it was hurting their career? I doubt that she's really that selfless that she really cares. And it is interesting to me that they all kind of unfollowed her at the same time. Like, it was like, oh, we're waiting for if Joey unfollows her, then I'll unfollow her. If Manny unfollows her, then I'll unfollow her, you know? No, I know what happened. Joey unfollowed her and then Manny did, because then he knew it was safe to do that. But y'all still follow a predator, and you still support a predator, and you still endorse a predator, okay? So y'all don't sing me that you care about this, okay? You didn't unfollow Colleen Ballinger because you care about the allegations. You didn't unfollow Colleen Ballinger because you care about the victims. You unfollowed Colleen Ballinger because you care about one thing, your career, period, end of story. You care about your career and you care about your money, okay? If you didn't, you would come out and you would make a statement, and you would have unfollowed her a long time ago. When all the allegations came out originally, what took you 3 months to figure out that there was something wrong about this? Well, you've had years to understand this about James Charles, and yet you still follow James Charles. And in all honesty, if you were going to wait all this time to see if he was going to change, and then say, okay, well, where's the proof or whatever, the Cosmopolitan article enough proves that he hasn't changed at all. So after that article came out, should have been evidence to you that that was a moment in time that he was not going to change. If he was going to change, he was going to change before that, and he hadn't. So that was your opportunity to say, I'm done with this. I can't continue to support this. But you didn't, and you continue to follow a predator. So I don't really care that you unfollow Colleen Ballinger. That doesn't mean anything to me. What that means to me is you're just trying to save face. Well, congratulations. I hope it works for you. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. I love you guys, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.